G'day lawnies, it's Matt Dawn from Lawnporn. Get your lawn on. In today's video we're looking at an update of my lawn for the start of the winter season and just some of the tips and tricks that I'm going to be using throughout the winter season to get my lawn on. For those of you following the channel, you know that I've been away for quite a bit doing some work in relation to the COVID stuff. Well, I'm back home now, so that means I can do stuff that I really want to do, which is the lawn. I suppose one of the main things about warm season grasses in winter time is to realise that they're not growing, they hit dormancy. So no growing, or it's growing very slowly. And that gives total opportunity to things like weeds that do grow during the winter time to take over and rob the goodness out of your grass, so to speak. So winter is just mainly getting rid of the bad guys, unfortunately. You can certainly do things against stopping things that do grow in the winter, such as using selective herbicides on weeds. Now that doesn't mean that you should be ignoring your lawn in regards to fertilisation. It still needs a bit of fertiliser, but it doesn't need much, and little bit by little bit, spoon feeding, especially with foliar treatments at a low level, is very beneficial for your lawn. Now I have a program that details all of that, and it's totally adaptable to all grass types. So check that one out on www.lawnpornonline.com. It's free to download. For the guys that have been following my page and following what I'm doing with this lawn, which I took over in late March, I've got it as basically as good as I could get it before hitting the dormancy time in winter. I want to make this totally Santa Ana, so I'm going to be putting down a few more treatments of Tribute. In the plans with this lawn, I'm going to be removing the garden bed at the front of the house here, and I'm going to be making that lawn. Soon I'll be doing my irrigation. The irrigation here doesn't cover the lawn properly, and it's above the ground, so I have to remove it every time I mow, so that's no good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be pulling out some plugs. I've got a little bit of a greenhouse going, and I've got a misting kit in that for irrigation, hooked up to a beehive Bluetooth device, which I can time my watering. So I'm doing 7 a.m. in the morning, 10 a.m. in the morning, 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. So 4 times a day for 5 minutes. I'll see how that goes. I'm going to take some plugs out of this lawn and plant it in some seeding trays and see how that goes. One side I'll use some fertiliser, and the other side I won't use any fertiliser, and see if I can see any noticeable difference. So that'll be interesting. Okay, so wintertime isn't a great time for warm season grasses. It's not very exciting, but with these tips, it'll get you through that winter time and in the best position for when spring starts. Tip 1 is mowing. You won't have to mow as much. At the start of the winter season, you'll be mowing maybe once a fortnight. Once you hit July, August, you probably will be mowing once a month, if that. You don't have to mow it, just leave it alone. Number 2 is mow taller. You want your height going up a little bit, simply because you want a nice thick lawn to block out the sun to the weeds that can germinate, and also grab a bit more of that sun that's less available at this time of year for some photosynthesis. Tip number 3, watering. You won't have to do it as much. You'll be watering once deeply in the morning every week to 10 days. Tip number 4 is frost. So during winter time, frost will happen and you'll get the icy lawn in the morning. That isn't great for lawn. What you want to do is a quick 5-minute water just to melt the ice, and that will certainly help. Tip number 5, get the bad guys. Your lawn isn't growing, but weeds will. Pests will still keep going, and you could get issues such as fungus. Get into these issues very, very early is my suggestion. At the start of the season, use a product like History. That will give you a 3-month protection against the bugs. And for your weeds, depending on your lawn type, you can use selective herbicides. When selecting a selective herbicide, make sure you read the label and make sure that it's suitable for your lawn type. I have couch, so I use products like Turf Culture's Bow and Arrow for some of the other grasses that are in my lawn, which I don't want, so they are weeds. I'm using a product called Tribute. Tip number 6. Fertilising. Look, you don't have to give up on fertilising during the winter simply because your lawn isn't growing. And the benefits of fertilising during the winter is that when it comes to spring, it'll come back a lot better and a lot quicker. When you are fertilising during the winter, a good way to do it is maybe just following our program, which is available on lawnpornonline.com. It's a free download. We start the season with a granular fertiliser, 4 seasons, but there's plenty other types that you can use. And then follow that up with foliar lawn treatments. We've got some great products called Launch and Charger, which we alternate during the winter season. We're doing that at low levels. Launch is a great repairer. It's got phosphorus and kelp for the root zone. And Charger, well, that'll force a little bit of growth, and the iron in it will give it a bit darker green and also help against the ills of winter. We mix those with Root Builder, which is a kelp, and that will also further grow your root zone and keep your lawn in the best shape during winter. Fertilising during the winter is important. Just do it little by little and often, and you'll be right. Tip 7 is use the downtime. Relax and leave the lawn alone, but that'll give you time to look at your equipment, service your equipment, sharpen your blades. It'll give you some time to plan some other purchases and plan your next season. And speaking of planning, if you don't have irrigation in your lawn, you might want to plan to get some. I'm doing an irrigation install in my lawn around about mid-July, end of July. Okay, it'll look a little bit crappy for a month or so, but then it comes up to the spring and I'll be ready to go with an irrigation system that will water my lawn properly. And irrigation will save you money and water and time. Number 9 is aerating. Now you can aerate at any time of the year. Just a simple pitchfork, poke some holes in it, and that'll let the air get down to the root zone. Number 10 is you don't want to be doing things like top dressing or anything regarding a renovation of your lawn. You really have to wait till spring. So if you've got some troughs, you'll have to wait till springtime for that when you do your renovation. And renovation is basically mowing low, aerating, top dressing, and then some fertiliser and some extra water for a few weeks while the lawn grows back in. So if you're thinking about doing that to your lawn, you'll have to wait till spring. Don't do it during winter. Now, if you're in a position like me, you've got some bare areas of your lawn, you've got a few choices that you can make. You can go for overseeding with rye. Now, I don't really like doing that simply because it uses more water, more fertiliser, causes a lot of mowing. I don't particularly enjoy mowing in the winter. It's too cold. I don't really want to go outside that much. So I leave it. My plan is for my lawn, which has got a lot of bare patches at the moment, is that I'll do a renovation in spring, have it all come back. I've got a little greenhouse thing going where I'm going to try and grow some plugs over the winter time in a little greenhouse. I'll show you a little bit more of that in the last part of this video if you want to stick around. The whole idea is spring, summer, get the lawn in the best condition that I can. I should have this time next year a very good coverage, great condition, and yeah, I won't need to oversow. You've also got the issue that you have to get rid of it once spring comes along. You have to spray it out, so that's more chemicals again. I think it's just a lot of fuss, and yeah, look, if you get your lawn in great condition at the start of winter, it'll look fairly good all the way through if you follow my tips. So my plan with my herbicide treatments is I'm going to be using the Tribute every 7 days now, seeing as I'm going to be here all the time, for 2 or 3 applications that should really get rid of my grassy weeds. So things like my winter grass, a couple of other grasses that I don't want in here. I think that's how I'm going to attack this bit now. Do 3 down that way, and then just halve this, because you can turn this off at the top, so you're not using it, and then just finish off your last bit. That's my spraying done. Some little zips, just go all the way up here. It's nice and wet, so we know the irrigation's working. Misters, and I've just got my misting line going through the system here. Nothing fancy, and I've just got some cable ties holding it where I need to hold it. Yep, so these trays here, and they'll go in like so. No chemicals, and this one will be Launch, Charger, Root Builder, and each one gives me you know, eventually 10 lots of fairly big plugins. So these just hook up by the irrigation that's just popped together to a little beehive, Bluetooth, so I can control it by the phone, and that was 79 bucks. This little irrigation setup was the Holman irrigation setup, and that was like just under 50 bucks. Greenhouse itself was like 50 bucks. So this was just the misting kit. It was the 7-meter misting system from Holman. I got that from Bunno's, and also got this beehive from Bunno's, and that was $79. 2 AA batteries, hooks up to the app straight away. It was a piece of cake. If I might do a future couple of videos about those two products, give you a review. But this beehive, very cheap. The app was self-explanatory. It just all came together really, really easy, and within 10 minutes I was set up. So this is a blended loam. Just gonna fill this area with the blended loam. Nothing too fancy. Nice and rich, it's got some nutrients in it. It's a nice little soil base. That's sort of what we're after. Got a bit of a green leaf, something like that. Beautiful. Plant that in there. That'll take off. Aggressive with the potting now.
Vibrating.
I'll get the app going. Just connecting with the app. There it is. And I can test it for 5 minutes. Boom. And that will come on. There it is. Hey! Look at that. There's the mist. And this greenhouse will be a bit warmer than everything else, so that will really work wonders, I think. So sorry this video was a bit longer than my usual. I had a lot to get through. I just wanted to say a quick thanks to everybody that sent me messages over the time that I was away, and it was just a fantastic support in a very, very hard time, especially doing work for all the COVID stuff. It's been unprecedented this year, and it's just been an amazing time for a lot of people. So I hope you're getting through that all right. Well, look, I hope you enjoyed the winter tips that I've given in this video and the update that I've given of this lawn. If you're getting something out of this Fixing a Terrible Lawn series, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. It all helps. Thank you very much. Get your lawn on, and thanks for the support. If you've liked the video and subscribed to the channel, thank you very much. It all helps. You can hit the link to go to the rest of the videos in this series of Fixing a Terrible Lawn. Get your lawn on.